Final Destination Bloodlines has set up the possibility of a major legacy character's return that needs to happen. Generally, characters do not survive longer than a single movie in the horror franchise, which kicked off in 2000 with the original Final Destination, starring Devon Sawa. This is because the movies follow premonition saving various groups of people from deadly calamities, only for said group's survival to anger death itself, which reasserts its original design by killing the survivors one by one in the order they originally would have died, in a variety of outre and gory ways. So far, only 2 surviving characters have ever returned in subsequent Final Destination movies. The first was Clear Rivers, Ali Lata, who survived the original 2000 movie, only to return to offer advice to Death's latest target in 2003's Final Destination 2 and subsequently perish in an explosion. The only other character to return is the eerie mortician William Bloodworth, Tony Todd, who appeared in the first 2 movies, the 5th installment, and Bloodlines, on top of Todd making an off-screen cameo as the voice of the statue in front of the Devil's Flight roller coaster in Final Destination 3. Final Destination Bloodlines confirms Kimberly Corman is alive. She was the protagonist of Final Destination 2. One key moment in 2025's Final Destination Bloodlines that Final Destination 2's Kimberly Corman, A.J. Cook, is still alive. In the original 2003 sequel, Corman, who is the only character in the franchise to ever survive having a premonition, was the protagonist who kickstarted Death's latest rampage when she saved multiple travelers from a deadly traffic accident on the highway. She lived through her ordeal by drowning herself in a lake, only to be revived at the nearby hospital, giving herself a new life and interrupting Death's pattern. During William Bloodworth's scene in Bloodlines, he confirmed that Kimberly is still alive in the canon of the Final Destination franchise. This was proven by the fact that he mentioned her by name when detailing the ways to stop Death from going after the Campbell and Reyes families. He mentioned that they could either kill a person and gain their remaining time, a plot wrinkle that was introduced in 2011's Final Destination 5 and accidentally utilized by Arlen Escarpita's character Nathan, or die and be resurrected, citing Kimberly Corman as the only successful example of this approach. Final Destination 7 has to bring Kimberly Corman back after Bloodlines. The franchise has fewer legacy characters than ever. A.J. Cook as Kimberly Corman looking nervously out her car window in Final Destination 2. After Bloodlines confirmed that Kimberly is still alive, Final Destination 7 needs to bring her back. While the sequel has not yet been greenlit, Bloodlines grossed more than $100 million worldwide in its opening weekend alone. Because of this, there is a strong likelihood that it will get a sequel that fulfills the promise of this scene, which itself referenced an original draft of the movie in which Corman almost did return, as revealed during an interview about Final Destination Bloodlines with directors Zach Lipovsky and Adam Stein that was conducted by Screen Rant's own Ash Crossan. Read an excerpt below. The return of Kimberly Corman would be helpful for the continuation of the franchise's canon, because Tony Todd passed away in 2024 and is thus no longer able to reprise the role of Bloodworth, who was the only character to connect the majority of the franchise's installments to any of the others. Kimberly Corman shouldn't come back to Final Destination alone. There was one other survivor. Michael Lands as Officer Thomas Burke listening solemnly in Final Destination 2. While Kimberly Corman is the most important surviving character in the franchise, having been the protagonist of Final Destination 2, her survival did end the chain reaction soon enough to also save the life of Officer Thomas Burke, Michael Lands. While he was not directly mentioned by Bloodworth, the fact that Kimberly canonically survived implies that her plan was successful and that Burke is still alive as well. Their return is entirely possible, because both Michael Lands and A.J. Cook have remained active in the industry in the 22 years between their debut in the franchise and the Final Destination Bloodlines release. Cook has played major character Jennifer Jarrow over the course of more than 300 episodes of the long-running crime procedural Criminal Minds, while Lands has recently appeared in Arthur the King, Goosebumps Season 2, and Den of Thieves, Pantera. This could mean that they are available for the 7th installment, in which they could cement their legacies in the iconic franchise.